Police say a family of 4 died in a murder-suicide at a home in Allen. Hello, I'm Steve Eager.
Hello, everybody. I'm Heather Hayes. 2 of those victims are children. Police say the deaths are connected to another family tragedy. Fox 4's David Santendry live in Allen. David.
Yeah, Heather and Steve, Allen Police Department says the family lost its 4-year-old daughter in a drowning just earlier this month, and the department believes that drowning was a factor in this murder-suicide. 4 family members were found dead inside their home on Aberdeen Drive in Allen Monday morning. Allen police say it was a shooting they describe as a murder-suicide. Police were called by a concerned family member who was locked out of the home for 2 hours and could not get anyone to answer the door. Neighbor Jacqueline Soto says that relative was a grandmother.
She was just really distraught.
Police say more family members showed up.
Just trying to, I guess, control the grandmother, who was incredibly upset herself.
Eventually, police made it inside the home and discovered the bodies. Police have not said who was the killer.
The cops are here taking care of the situation.
Ichu lives nearby. He saw Monday's police presence and wishes he had seen warning signs to help the family.
We don't know anything.
Police confirmed identities of the father, Farman Sherwani, the mother, Layla Sherwani, 12-year-old son, Shaheen Sherwani, and 2-year-old son, Mateen Sherwani. Allen ISD says one of the victims was a 5th-grade student at Olson Elementary School. Counselors are helping students process the death of their classmate.
Really sad.
Police say the family lost their 4-year-old daughter, Leanne Sherwani, to a drowning earlier this month. And while the specifics of that incident are not clear, police say the drowning was a factor in Monday's murder-suicide.
Yeah, it was just really sad and really hard. I think all of us kind of just felt for the family.
The Islamic Association of Allen is hosting a funeral service for those victims this evening. Fox 4 will have more coverage throughout the evening, but for right now, Steve and Heather, I'll send it back to y'all.
David, thank you.
A junior at TCU was the victim of an apparent random and shocking act of violence in Fort Worth's entertainment district. Happened early this morning outside a bar in Fort Worth's West 7th District. Police say the suspect admitted he shot Wes Smith 3 times, killing him, and the suspect said he would have shot more people had he not run out of ammunition. Police caught the suspect shortly after the shooting, still armed. Fox 4's Amelia Jones spoke with someone close to the victim and his family. She's live at Fort Worth Police Headquarters. Amelia.
Steve, 21-year-old Matthew Purdy, the suspect in this case, police say he was out on probation on a charge for aggravated robbery when police say he shot TCU student Wes Smith. It was a somber day for the Texas Christian University community. One of its students, Wes Smith, a junior finance major, was shot and killed seemingly at random outside of a Fort Worth bar. Fort Worth police say just after 1 Friday morning, 21-year-old Matthew Purdy walked up to Smith, said a few brief words, then shot him 3 times. Once in the stomach, once in the shoulder, and then when Smith was down, police say Purdy shot him in the back of the head. Police say during a confession, Purdy told detectives he shot Smith the 3rd time to, quote, make sure he was dead.
I was truly shocked by violence for a young man who cared so much for everyone.
Timothy Gibson is the head of school for St. George's Independent School in Memphis, Tennessee. Smith graduated from the school in 2021.
Wes was a varsity football player. He played varsity basketball. He played varsity lacrosse. He was a team captain. He was student body president, and he was our prefect of athletics.
Smith also briefly played football for TCU as a walk-on his freshman year.
Wes was a student known by everyone and respected by all.
After the shooting, police say Purdy hit another person with his gun. Police say Purdy later admitted if he still had ammunition, he would have shot that person too. Once in custody, officers searched Purdy but missed the gun still in his pants. He was caught in the back of the police car with the gun in his hands. Police say he tried to throw it out of the squad car.
And I think that's what hurts the most. The world lost a good person, and we need good people now more than ever.
As for Wes Smith's family, they're asking for space to grieve. Gibson told me St. George's plans to do something to honor Smith in the coming weeks. Police say Purdy told detectives that he asked if Smith knew his father, who was assaulted in the past near the bar. But other than that, police say Purdy did not give a clear reason why he shot Smith. Purdy is currently being held at the Tarrant County Jail on a $500,000 bond.
17-year-old who was briefly the subject of an Amber Alert earlier today is now the suspect in a murder. She and another man are charged with capital murder. Fox 4's David Santendry live at the Garland Police Department with more on this story. David.
Yeah, it's quite uncommon for an Amber Alert subject to wind up being a murder suspect. The 17-year-old girl was found in a border county near Mexico. The second suspect has not been caught. A 17-year-old girl is in custody and expected to be charged with murder just hours after an Amber Alert was issued to find her. Friday, Garland police detectives obtained warrants for Natalie Navarro and 21-year-old Jordi Martinez, shown here in a previous mugshot. They're accused of murdering 21-year-old Arturo Pena. Pena was found shot to death inside his vehicle at Audubon Park in Garland Tuesday after he had been reported as a missing person to Dallas Police Department 2 days earlier.
Trying to figure out exactly how they knew each other.
Garland police will not say what evidence led them to issue warrants for Navarro and Martinez. The department will not say what it believes the motive was.
We've yet to totally determine that.
The Amber Alert, a bizarre twist. It was requested by Dallas police after the department received a call the teen was missing and under potentially suspicious circumstances. The Amber Alert was issued overnight for Navarro before she was even identified as a murder suspect by Garland police. Garland PD says an agency in Webb County, that includes the border city of Laredo, found her because of the Amber Alert. Martinez was listed as a suspect in Navarro's disappearance in the Amber Alert. Pena's family expressed concern on a phone call with Fox 4 that Martinez could have crossed the border into Mexico. Martinez has a criminal history, including a felony indictment for allegedly shooting a gun into a house in Garland last November.
It's where we know Jordi to kind of be or have been in the past. Now, I don't know where Jordi is currently.
Back at Garland's Audubon Park, where Pena was killed, it's unclear what brought the 21-year-old here to begin with.
We don't know.
Garland PD says it obtained a search warrant for Pena's vehicle in hopes of finding evidence to answer questions about his murder.
There's a lot of stuff going out. We collected a lot of evidence, so we're trying to process everything right now.
Again, Martinez has not been found by law enforcement, so anyone who might have any information on his whereabouts is asked to contact Garland's police department.
2 former Prosper High School coaches were arrested, charged with covering up alleged sexual assaults involving students. Hello, everybody. I'm Heather Hayes.
I'm Steve Eager. It's 9 o'clock. Police say the women who have since been fired by the school shook off a sexual assault allegation made by one student against another. Or other students, rather. According to police documents, the coaches said the alleged abuser was a good player and they didn't want to lose her. Fox 4's Peyton Yeager is at the Prosper ISD Administration Building tonight. Peyton.
Steve, and how all of this was uncovered is the student who initially brought the sexual assault allegations to the coaches then went on to tell her therapist. That's how Prosper District Police got involved. And then they realized the 2 coaches had already been made aware of the allegations. The Prosper High School softball program is under fire after 2 coaches were each arrested on a misdemeanor charge of failing to report child abuse at the beginning of the school year. Head coach Rena Bersosa was arrested last week and bonded out. She was just announced as the new head softball coach in May. Assistant coach Casey Ostrom was booked into the Collin County Jail Tuesday and also bonded out. Ostrom joined the softball staff in June. According to their arrest affidavits, a player and her mother met with the 2 softball coaches a few days before school started. District police say the female student revealed to the coaches 3 other athletes told her they were sexually abused and raped by another player on the team during sleepovers over the summer. Bersosa allegedly told the student the suspect in the sexual assaults is a good player and they don't want to lose her. The student told investigators Bersosa said to handle this with the suspect and to tell the suspect that if she does not stop committing sexual assault, she will report this to the coach. The mother of the student was also interviewed by police, telling them she heard her daughter report the sexual abuse and confirmed assistant coach Ostrom was present for the meeting but didn't say anything. Police met with Bersosa on August 23rd. Court documents say Bersosa told investigators she didn't report the sexual assault claims because she was not aware she had to report a third-party allegation. The next day, Ostrom said in an interview she thought Bersosa was going to investigate the information and never followed up with her. Prosper ISD sent a letter to parents that says in part, state law mandates educators file a report within 48 hours when they develop suspicions of potential child abuse or neglect. Prosper ISD requires employees to undergo training to ensure they know the proper steps to report such cases. And it's still unclear if the student accused of the sexual assault has been arrested or even interviewed by police. Prosper ISD is not releasing that information at this time. We also reached out to Bersosa's attorney today via phone and email, and she did not respond back to us.
Investigators say people being robbed, leaving banks and other financial institutions is on the rise, reminding you again about a crime of opportunity called jugging. Hello, everybody. I'm Heather Hayes.
And I'm Steve Eager. Dallas police want you to pay attention to your surroundings at banks and other financial institutions. Robberies known as jugging have been on the rise and increase for the past few months. Fox 4's Sean Rabb is in studio with the story. Sean.
You know what? Jugging's a term that dates back to the 30s when criminals would wait outside of a bank for people to come out with money and then take that money from them.
We've seen it here in our local banks and institutions within the city, check cashing places, and also at commercial stores and businesses.
These surveillance images captured a jugging case in a bank parking lot. Blocked by the van is the driver on the ground, money and credit cards taken. The suspects in the cars parked behind him. Dallas Police Assistant Chief Michael Igo.
So typically what happens is somebody will go to a bank, they'll take out money. Oftentimes they're carrying that money out of a bank bag or in a cash envelope, and they're being approached by these criminals who are threatening them with violence, or actually in some cases violence is occurring.
Pay attention, police say, to vehicles in bank parking lots, especially if they're backed in and people are inside. Try to conceal bank bags and cash envelopes when leaving financial institutions. And watch to see if you are being followed as you leave parking lots.
The department's been very proactive on this. Here again, we work with other local law enforcement agencies. We have officers in place that really conduct covert surveillance on these banks.
4 men between 19 and 26 busted for 2 of these jugging offenses. They're charged with organized crime, which will take their case federal. Police recovered bank bags, cash, guns, dope, and personal possessions taken from their victims.
The biggest thing that the public can do is just be vigilant in their awareness when they're going to these financial institutions. That one thing alone is key for them to not become a victim of these offenses.
So this is the principal way it seems robberies are happening now. Last year, there were 223 of these incidents. Already this year, 143. Again, an increase this summer. The gang arrested are from here, but there have been juggers traveling to Dallas from as far away as Houston.
All right, Sean Rabb. We'll stay prepared, Sean, and aware. Thank you.
All right.